So this is the front of Kingwood, Texas, and this incredibly beautiful park, East End Park, is the very back of Kingwood, Texas. And now we're right here in the center of Kingwood, Texas. This is what makes it so special. Look at how gorgeous this is. The goal of this video, guys, I'm gonna start at the very front end of Kingwood, Texas, and we're gonna work all the way to the back and fill everything in. We're gonna show you why this place is one of the most slept on suburbs in all of Houston, Texas, and why families fall in love with it. But real quick, that is what we do. We are matchmakers here in Houston. We've helped over 1,000 families move here. And if you need help at any time, guys, that is our phone number and our email. Reach out to us so that we can help you find your perfect spot here in Houston and not just a house. So let's get after it and let's take you through Kingwood, Texas from the very front all the way to the back. So we right now are in the front of Kingwood. I'm about to show you something over here that changed Kingwood forever. But yes, every once in a while, a freaking train comes by. So that's Highway 494, which runs north and south, which can take you to the two different ways in and out. You got North Park up to the north, and you have Kingwood Drive, which is where we're at, and that can slow you down. But the good news about where we're at right now is once you get to this point, you are just 1 minute, no, not even that, 10 seconds away from 59. In fact, from the drone footage, you can see up and over these trees, Highway 59 is right there. That's gonna take you directly down into Bush International Airport. A lot of people really like living in Kingwood who are, you know, either traveling a lot because they can get to the airport, or a lot of, you know, pilots, people who are actually working at the airport choose this spot because of how close you are to the airport. One of my best friends, again, he actually lives in the back of Kingwood. He says, you know, 5, 6 in the morning when there's no traffic, he might be going a little fast. He can make it all the way there in like 16 minutes. That's crazy. But anyways, it just depends on where you're at. Now, you do get trains that can stop you every once in a while. Kind of rare, although I have seen them a few times. Now, let me show you what's really changed Kingwood forever, because we didn't have this before. And if you ever went to any Reddit board or, you know, heard anybody talking about what Kingwood needs or doesn't need, it is a sleepier town. You're not gonna have a million things to do here, which is why a lot of people really love living here and why families love this tight-knit community. But this was one thing that always came up, and that one thing is a Trader Joe's. So this opened up, I want to say about 6 months ago, maybe a little bit more, and it is right here at the front of Kingwood. So you do have Trader Joe's. This is a smaller little shopping center. You got haircut places, UPS stores, you have Petco's down around here, little restaurants and stuff. And this is actually an area that, since I live in the backside, I don't frequent as much. My wife definitely loves having a Trader Joe's. Now, before this came, she used to have to go to either downtown Houston, Texas, or up to the Woodlands to find a Trader Joe's. So pretty nice to have this right here. But there's a new store that just showed up last month, and it has really shaken things up here. And I'm gonna show you that in the middle of this vlog. I'm actually gonna take you right now to what I think is probably one of the sneaky best place to live. If you really wanted to be in that budget of like the 300,000 to 500,000, I think it's one of the better places to live, and I'm gonna show you why. Plus, at the end of this video, again, I'm gonna show you, you know, what I personally think is the best thing about living here in Kingwood, Texas. All right, so this, as you can see on that sign there, says Woodland Hills Drive. So this is Woodland Hills. And what we did is we went down Kingwood Drive and then we headed south. Now, I'm gonna show you actually what's behind me and what's down this road. There's actually two things down there that really make this, I think, the best area to live. But the one thing you'll notice is just how mature it is, right? All of the trees are growing up. If you've watched enough of my videos of these vlogs, you'll notice that I'm always talking about, you know, mature trees. And the one thing is, you know, it's July, it's hot here a lot, and it just provides you a ton of shade. Plus, I come from North Idaho, my wife's from Montana, we're from the Northwest, we like trees. So this is really the most like close to home look that we could find because of all the old growth trees. And you can find homes here. I mean, they have single level home, 3-bed, 2-bath, all the way up into like 5 and even, you know, 6-bedroom homes. Some of these are gonna be built, you know, probably starting in the 70s, 80s. And so this is the front end of Kingwood again still. Even though we drove down a little ways, you'll find a lot of these homes are quite a bit older. So two things happen here. Either it's kind of the original owner, which, you know, I've actually flipped a house in here before, and that's what it was, just an original owner, been in it forever. So the house was actually maintained very well. It was just very dated, right? And so we did some sweat equity, we got it. And that's really what you'll find in here, or you'll find them that are already remodeled, and they're gonna go pretty quick, especially if they have a pool. So Woodland Hills, because what I'm about to show you, I think, is one of the sneaky best places to live, especially for affordability. Now, again, you can get into some of these homes starting in the 300s to, you know, upwards of, I don't even know if it goes to 500. But again, get those 5-bedroom homes. So family-wise, and they actually they built a new elementary school. So it's not new, it was actually the oldest one, and they just remodeled it. So they're knocking down the oldest schools first and completely building brand new ones. And they've done it not only with the elementary here, but the middle school up the road as well. So you have those right here, 2 of the newest schools for your kids, and just an incredible neighborhood. But let me show you why it's truly special. And we'll head down the road here because I'm down this way all the time. All right, so I showed you what the neighborhoods look like. And again, you're really tucked into the trees here, but this is reason number 1. There's still an even better reason right down the road. We're only about 30 seconds away from where we pulled over and showed those neighborhoods. But as you can see here, you've got Deer Ridge Park, and not only is it beautiful and you've got all the ponds and the beautiful green grass, this is gonna be one of your major hubs if you have youth baseball players. They even have soccer fields at the end, but you have these baseball fields right here, and actually down the way, what's cool about this youth baseball field too is, like, if you got other siblings, you got other kiddos, they have a park right in the middle. They also have a bunch of tennis courts and stuff over there as well, so there's a bunch of people actually playing tennis right now. But they're really nice field that are tucked into the trees, again, giving you some shade in the afternoons. And at the very end of this is actually an equestrian barn. So I've got quite a few friends whose, you know, kids enjoy riding horsebacks. And so there's barns at the end of the road right here. So if you're into the baseball, if you're into the equestrian, the soccer, you know, this is gonna be one of the major hubs. And again, you actually can walk here via trail systems just in between here from some of those neighborhoods we just came from. So imagine being able to just walk your kids right here to the baseball diamond, or your kiddos get this to play. But I got one more thing that I got to show you that I think is even better, and it's right down the road. So this, I think, is one of my favorite places here in Kingwood. So this is River Grove Park, and as you can see, we've got our own boat launch here. You got a pontoon boat right out there. They're hanging out, they're fishing. And just around that corner right there, we love going boating. I don't personally have a boat, but good thing I got friends who do. We love wake surfing, wakeboarding, just swimming out there. And just around that corner is an awesome little sandbar area that people hang out at. But not only is this a park where you can go boating, and you have to be a Kingwood member. That's what's cool, is that, you know, everybody from all the other suburbs can come here and use this. They can't. You have to have a Kingwood sticker. And I remember, you know, living in North Idaho, and our lakes got discovered. And in the summertime, there would be like 8 billion people trying to get their boats in, and it's just sucked. But here, it's just for Kingwood residents. It's a Friday in the middle of summer, and we got 1, 2, 3 boat trailers here right now. So pretty cool that you have that. But the other part about this is you have multiple jungle gym sets in here. And as you can see, the trees, it is July right now, cooking hot. But I'm actually back to, I got the trees blocking some of the sun right now, which is huge. Multiple different jungle gyms, and there's a bunch of picnic benches around here and trail systems. There's actually a trail that connects you from right here all the way. It takes you along the San Jacinto River over to 59 and beyond that. So if you like riding bikes or running long distances, I don't think you'll find a better trail system. But this is why I spend the majority of my time here. So first of all, I got to take you across this cool wooden bridge. This is one of the 2 access points to one of the biggest soccer field complexes that I've ever seen. So we're gonna cross this bayou now. This is where everybody goes fishing. My oldest son, when he has to come watch his younger siblings play soccer, even though they gotta go to every one of his sporting events all the time, he just brings his fishing rod and he fishes all these bayous and goes through all these trails. That's pretty typical. So right here though, you can actually see how big this soccer complex is. I love the one thing I love about this community, and some of the ones that we film that are they just older, have more character, the Woodlands, Sienna, you know, the ones that I really favor, everything that you do family-wise is already built in here. Even if you're not this massive sports family, like you just want to get your kids involved in youth sports, they have Alliance Soccer here. So you can see Kingwood Alliance Soccer on Saturdays. I mean, there's 20 different games going from all different ages. And if you are like hardcore soccer, just up to the north of us, about 5-10 minutes, is the fields for HTX soccer, and that's all over Houston. It's one of the most competitive. That's the travel soccer, and you can actually practice here too. But this is where your Alliance, you know, football soccer fields are. And so Saturdays, these are pretty packed. You see just about everybody you know, and you have all of this right here, again, about 2 or 3 minutes away from the homes that I just showed you here in Woodland Hills. So this Woodland Hills area, to me, I think just kind of encapsulates all of it. Very much nature, a lot of parks. You have all the soccer fields. I mean, life would be so simple right here. And again, I just want to remind you that we're not here to just help you buy a house. We're really just matchmakers. You got to figure out what it is you love about a community, what it is that makes you excited. You don't want to move here and 3 months later figure out, man, it looked good on the outside, but once we got inside, it's just not what we wanted. So I just invite you guys to use that number, use that email. That is why I built this channel, because I moved to the wrong area. And now when I finally found my dream spot, I get to truly live life. And that's what I want for you guys. So that number, that email is for you guys to use 24/7. Let us help you find your perfect spot so that you don't just read something online, move there and hate it. But guys, I would show you next what's right down the road, but I'm gonna save it for the end because it is ultimately my favorite thing about Kingwood, Texas. But next, I'm gonna go to the center, to the hub, where you're gonna spend the majority of your time. Right here where I'm standing, you actually have access to 3 different golf courses right out here. Now, even if you're not a golfer, the really cool part about here is even just the social membership. So you have the golf course this way, and I think honestly, some of the better restaurants in all of Kingwood, unfortunately. And then over here you have also 24, I think, tennis courts. I think there's now 12 pickleball courts. And again, you have the pool system, you have the turf, you have basketball courts. And even though we got a pool in the backyard, and so do so many people, we have spent probably 3-4 days a week here because it's just so easy with the kids. All their friends are here. They can run, jump, swim, and they got all the slides, diving boards, and they just really love it. But for me, I'm here because they have an incredible workout facility in here as well. So 4 to 5 days a week I'm in here. I've actually met quite a few of you in there, or we're out golfing. My daughter actually does the youth junior programs here. Yeah, wet. Yes, go in.
That was a good shot.
Wet dog. It's some of the most fun I've ever had. Again, even if your kid's not highly competitive in golf, or it's just a great experience overall. They got great instructors, and these courses are just gorgeous. I mean, I just don't think you understand how pretty it is here in the Kingwood area or the Woodlands area until you get like tucked back in there. But they also have daycare set up here. So when my youngest one, the Ripper Magoo, was, 3, 4, he was, going through the preschools and stuff like I talked about earlier, the churches at the top of the road where we were at. I was actually bringing him here for an hour in the morning while I worked out, and then we went to preschool. But I'm here, 5 days a week at least. And even if you're not a golfer, you can do the social aspect and have, access to all of this stuff minus the golf. But the other night, right before 4th of July parade, which is also one of the coolest things that they do, is not the parade, but the fireworks show right out here. I'll show you some clips. I might have had a few brewskis with my boys and we were out golfing. I'm gonna show you that clip too. See, we vibing out here. This is golf in Kingwood, baby. We got
Let's go.
my guys over there.
Come on.
More sand, but this is what's crazy about Kingwood is look at all the lakes and all that. And I got a good shot here from 120 out to win this hole for 20 bucks. But you get back here in the backside of Kingwood, 3 different courses. And I'm telling you, it's July. We had a little rain today. It's about 80 degrees. Can't beat this. Look at my guy. So now we are in basically the central hub of Kingwood. And it's mainly because across the street over there is H-E-B, and you're like, well, why aren't you over there? Because what's over here, I'm gonna show you here in a second, just showed up last month, and a lot of people are raving about it, but right here you do have more restaurants, sushi restaurants, Perry's Pizza, Domino's, that's where everybody orders their Domino's, and every kid here rides a Trek bicycle. Well, they all do e-bikes now, but there's a Trek store right there. But the other thing I wanted to show you right here is I'm actually gonna turn you around. This is a very important kind of like middle section of Kingwood, Texas, and it's because of this intersection right here and what's in front of me. So let's start with the intersection. That is actually Kingwood Drive. So we haven't left Kingwood Drive, and we're not going to today. We're just working our way down, and that is Lake Houston. So Lake Houston from right here can take you south all the way down through Atascocita and all the way out to Beltway 8. So anytime I want to hit Beltway 8 to head around down to the south part of town, or even sometimes to you know, get to the airport or get to downtown Houston, you can take Lake Houston right here. Now, Lake Houston, if you go down this 1 mile down the road, you actually have 4 more restaurants right there. You have Sharky's, you have Zammitti's Italian, and a few other ones. Plus there's a Table 7 steakhouse coming. I know the owner who's building it, which is pretty exciting. So it's another area that we go to eat, plus another taco spot. And then right here, this is actually the Kingwood Town Center. So every single Thursday, in fact, yesterday, they hold a farmer's market there. So all your local produce, eggs, just everything that's going on. And it's every Thursday. Plus they hold a lot of other functions there. They'll do yoga in the park, and they even hold the pickle festival there. And then there's a bunch of restaurants kind of down that. In fact, not a lot. There's a few of them. That's one thing about Kingwood, is you don't have like the amount of restaurants like the Woodlands, Texas per se, but it also keeps, you know, that more traffic from coming in here. So you don't have a lot of people from outside coming into Kingwood for any reason. So it's really just who lives here. Now to go to the other corner, the opposite, right over there across Lake Houston, that's where you're gonna have your Ace Hardware. And then there's also a Club Studio there, which became very popular. My wife loves it. A lot of people go work out there. 3B's restaurant, Chick-fil-A. So that's a really popular area over there. And then on the H-E-B side, you have a lot more restaurants, you have a lot more shops, entertainment. So basically all of your shopping and restaurants are gonna be basically in this 4-section hub right here. But let me turn you around and show you what just showed up here a month ago, because a lot of people were pretty excited about that. If you like more of the organic produce, we just got a Sprouts right here as well. It's across the street from the H-E-B, and then Trader Joe's is just a couple miles down that way. And if you actually take Lake Houston and you go directly north, it'll take you up to North Park. That will run into a Kroger. So if you're on more of the north end of the neighborhood there, you also have a Kroger right there in your backyard as well. So this is really the hub, and then we're gonna start heading down farther into the backside of Kingwood, where I really think the more favorable, where people really desire to be. And we're gonna show you that lifestyle too. And I got a lot of really fun clips to show you too. So if you would, make sure you guys hit that like button, share this with anybody you know who you think is, you know, moving here to Houston and likes these vlogs. Make sure you head over to originalhoustontexas.com. So that's a free site we built, and it's not for cold calling you or anything. It has all of our videos in there. It has Explore the Area. So any of these suburbs we've done vlog tours on, and you can actually find them there. You can search homes, and again, we're not gonna cold call you or hit you over the head with nothing. And if you need help with that matchmaker, figuring out which one of these suburbs, master plan communities, fits you and your family best, I invite you to just reach out anytime. We love it. We've helped thousands of families move here, and we really have gotten good at helping you find the perfect spot. So that's the number and the email right there. Now we got a lot more to show you. Plus, I still have not shown you my favorite part of Kingwood, Texas. All right, so now we've made it to probably some of the more desirable areas here in Kingwood. And the reason I say that is this is basically from where I'm standing back, farther back to the backside of Kingwood is gonna be more of your like most desirable places to live. So currently this is Foster's Mill. I mean, how beautiful is this? Not only you have this pond, so this is actually where all like the middle school, high school kids come, like prom pictures on, they'll line up here. It's really cool. Follow me over here. You can see that there's another pond right here with the fountain going on. And actually behind me here is Deerwood Golf Course. So it's part of the country club, but it's an additional one. It's more expensive, more private. They actually filmed Tin Cup here. So if you've ever watched the movie Tin Cup, it was filmed on that golf course, super fun. And then again, you have Kingwood Drive right there headed down. That's gonna keep continuing to take you to the back side of Kingwood, Texas. So from here, we're in Foster's Mill right now. So this is kind of tied right into the clubhouse of Deerwood. So yes, there's a different clubhouse restaurant there down at Deerwood and the country club. And then from right here, this is Foster's Mill. It's a really, really cool neighborhood. It weaves throughout here. You can get some golf course views on some of it, but now you're gonna start to get to some of those bigger homes, sprawling homes, you know, upwards of the 4,000 or 5,000 square feet, and bigger lots. So this is where you really start to get massive lots. Across the road here is Sand Creek. So there's 25 villages here in Kingwood, so you can't go to all of them. And really, the closer you are to the front is gonna be, you know, more affordable, and the farther we come to the back, it starts to get a little more expensive. Now, there's ups and downs, you know, everywhere, but for the most part, that's what it is. Sand Creek, and then up to the north of us and to the east a little bit is gonna be Bear Branch, and then straight to the east of us is gonna be Kings Point and Royal Shores. So that's where you're gonna really start getting the bigger estate homes, and really, starting from this point, you're gonna be in that $400,000 price range. You might get some in the 3 if they need work or they're smaller. But again, you're gonna get big homes here. And again, there's no new construction. Some of these homes, again, were started in the 90s. You know, my house, even all the way in the back, was started in the 90s as well. So you can really start to get more house, you can get bigger lots. And this is gonna be an area, again, that is really desirable because from here, right across the road in Sand Creek, you have Deerwood Elementary. You also have Willow Creek Elementary, which is right over in the next neighborhood in Kings Point. And then you have Shadow Forest, I believe, which is up Mills Branch. So 3 elementary schools. And I'm gonna show you something cool about these elementary schools here in a second. All right here, and then you have Riverwood Middle School right back there as well. Both Willow Creek and Riverwood are in the Kings Point neighborhood, so all of this filters into there. And everywhere we're standing, because we're on the east side of Westlake, Houston, goes to Kingwood High School. Crazy thing is, I keep hearing rumors, I don't know if it's true, about open enrollment here at Humble ISD. So I don't know if you can just pick and choose where you go, but if you want to see what these schools look like and what I love about Kingwood, Texas a lot, let's go check that out. So the cool part about headed to school is this is how we get there. These trails, everybody, you know, as we keep talking about it, the greenbelt trails connect everything, but you know, when we moved here, I just fell in love with these bridges and just how covered everything is with all the trees. And so this is our way that we take to school every day, and you're gonna notice a lot of kids riding to these schools because of these trails. So my little guy, he already, oh man, we found a, no, what are you doing, bud?
He's in the collar.
Yeah, he probably lives close, huh, Jed? Yep, got a number. What's your name? Oh, he loves you, Jed. He's probably right here by home, bud. Let's head home. See, I told you, he's following you to his owner, Jetty. Anyways, headed to school. Lots of doggies, lots of people walking, lots of bikes, and this is the path to school. So we're gonna show you the Kingwood Elementaries. All right, so there's multiple trails that take you into the school. That one will take you over by the soccer fields, and that's what, so all these schools do this, and the cool part is we get to ride to all of them. So it's something that we do a lot, and there's a reason for it. I'm gonna show you here in a second. Good morning, sir. But I love this back path right here. So this is the way we come in. Again, you're on these trails the whole way to school, which makes things so much nicer. But what Humble ISD did, and not just Kingwood, but all of Humble ISD, is they built these new, just massive mega parks, and they got these new gyms, which just opened last year. Great for PE. You see, actually, there's a bunch of moms right there doing like yoga. They come there all the time and do that under the basketball court. But all the schools got these giant parks, and they're all different. Every single one is different. Different colors, different schemes. It's nice to have like one of these in your community, but now the fact that they did this with these schools, at every elementary school here is amazing because we have 2 more of them. One of them is just kind of up to the north, Shadow Forest, and then we have Deerwood Elementary, and that's 3 of them that are within a mile of each other, you know, really close, that we can use all of their parks. I think this one started in the early 2000s, maybe even the late 90s, I don't really know, as of like when it was built new. Oh man, you bleeding? You'll be good. How come you keep bleeding? You keep scratching your bug bites? Yeah, you'll be all right. We'll clean it when we get home. You should have done it with your red sock there. Why didn't you do that? Then it would have blended in. So yeah, anyways, the schools themselves are a little bit older compared to like these new master plan communities where the elementary schools are like giant universities. But if you look it up online, the elementary schools here in the Kingwood part of Humble ISD are some of the highest rated. In fact, this one here is probably one of the highest rated in all of, you know, Houston. So very good public elementary schools. You got multiple middle schools right here as well, and then 2 high schools, Kingwood Park and Kingwood High School, all up here in just Kingwood alone. So I got to push my kid on their favorite thing. It's not my favorite because it wears me out. He's got his monster trucks on here too. But the other thing about this school is that it's a major hub for all the kids. So we came here early in the morning, so it's not so hot, but you're going to notice all throughout the day, there's kids everywhere here at Willow Creek in all these elementaries. This is where they meet up and go ride. They do lemonade stands out here. They'll do everything, but we got to give them the mega boost here. So you grab this bad boy and you come to the inside, huh, Rip Daddy? Oh! And you send them. I don't even know how I'm gonna get out of here. Ah! You haven't been on this in a long time? So this is the one at school every day that's got a line of kids on it. But really cool parks, again, to have these close here. You just can't beat it. They got the soccer fields. And the other thing is too, a lot of your youth sports, you're gonna have a lot of practices either here or at the middle schools a lot. So your youth football, flag football, soccers, I don't know, lacrosses and stuff. I don't know if they do lacrosse here, but there's so much youth soccer and youth football. Play soccer over there, huh? That you'll hold practices here. So I coach a lot of the kids, coached a lot of people who've moved here as kids, and just people in general. And we use these fields, those basketball courts, they're all covered. And then the middle schools have way bigger fields, the tracks and all that, so we hold our football practices there. And then we're gonna send them again. But you'll notice that all the kids, not just the young ones, even the older ones, my son's 14, and they meet here a lot of times. Oh! Slower? Nah. Catch that in the backside. And then from here they go down to the H-E-B, to the marketplaces, to the Cane's restaurants, and then, you know, go fishing, riding, doing all that. So pretty cool. All right, so we have moved just, man, feels like a couple hundred yards down the road, quarter mile from where we were at, Foster's Mill and the 2 beautiful ponds right there. But as you can see behind me, now we've continued to work to the east here, to the very end, the backside of Kingwood, Texas. So you can see here on that sign right there, that is Kings Point. So Kings Point is really the farthest back that you get southeast. And then we have to the north of us is still Sand Creek, the same as it was up there when we were in Foster's Mill. And then Bear Branch would be down past that. There's actually another secret hidden boat launch down there on that side as well that gets you in. Front of the neighborhood right over here of Kings Point, there's 2 churches right up there as well. And they're incredible opportunities for preschool, right? So a lot of kids go to the preschools right there. And again, you can bike your kid, you can walk your kid to it. It's so cool showing up. And I mean, most of the parents just either drove just right down the street or walked there or rode their bikes like I did a lot of times with my Ripper Magoo. So he met his best buddies who he then went to elementary school with. And then as we grow up a little bit, I got my 14-year-old, my big boy, and this is where he's going. So this is Riverwood Middle School at the very back of the neighborhood. Willow Creek, where me and Ripper Magoo rode to, the video that you saw is right down the street over there as well. So this is the middle school that really these 3 elementaries pour into. And you still have 2 more middle schools down the road over there as well. And so the last but not least thing we got to show you right down the street here. And then not only am I going to show you one thing that I love about here, I'm going to show you 2 things, because there's just something you can't beat here in Kingwood, Texas. And I would feel really bad if I didn't show you. And here we are, the farthest you can get into the backside of Kingwood, Texas. This might be one of the most wild, unique things I've ever seen. This is East End Park. It is gorgeous. These are greenbelt trails that lead right to it. It is miles and miles and miles of beautifully groomed trails. Now, you want to see some gators, you want to see some snakes, you'll see them in there. But one of the coolest hiking spots, my wife and I love coming here with the dogs. A lot of kids come riding here, but you can walk back there and the trails are crushed granite. They're completely clean. You can actually walk along the lake and the San Jacinto River there. So it is really,
okay?
huh? Oh yeah, we're good, man. How are you doing? Yeah. And as you can see, I actually saw him mountain biking from like the front of Kingwood earlier today. And he came all the way, but you talk about getting a workout. That's what I'm talking about. It's about 2 o'clock, 100 degrees. He rode a couple miles to get to East End Park. You see it a lot. So they even at the beginning of this have a station to fix your tires, fix your bike, all of that stuff. So this is the backside of Kingwood. We've seen, and there's so much more to this, guys. And I have to give you my favorite part of Kingwood, and I hope that everybody stay tuned to this because this is what makes it what it is. All right, so this is legit my favorite thing about Kingwood, Texas is the greenbelt trails. It is the middle of July, by the way, which should be hot, but we've had some good rainy days, and then in the evenings you get into these trees, you have all this shade, and Ripper Magoo about to send it. So we're going fishing. There are ponds and lakes all over through here, not including Lake Houston, which is just through these trees. We actually made some motorcycle trails, some tracks through here, and we could ride right to the lake and we would cut right through this. We're gonna go right, buddy. We're going to the lake with the berries. And we made some trails right through there. And that literally goes right to the lake. So we'll show you that. But these trails connect everything. So right now, even middle of summer, it's just packed full of people walking, dog walking, and the kids here use these like highway systems. They know every single cul-de-sac, they know every road, they know how to get to all the parks, all the different schools that have new parks. They're gonna go to everybody's houses and they come into every single cul-de-sac as well. We're headed right down here. See, and I taught my kids, if you move here, you gotta teach your kids, they put their feet down at every road so they don't get smacked by cars, because that's the one scary thing. All right, Ripper Magoo, good job. Send it. Right down here is the pond we're going to. Hi guys, how are you? We could take this all the way to the ponds, but I'm gonna take you through kind of a typical neighborhood. Yeah, turn it here, bud. And show you what it's like, you know, entering these cul-de-sacs. And we're in the backside. This is called Kings Point. So you're gonna see, you know, a lot of these yards they're big, oversized lots, bigger homes. Ooh, got the sunshine hitting. And so as you can see here, we popped out and there's all these cul-de-sacs and they all lead to these green belt trail systems. And then we're gonna take this and kind of wrap around and go right to one of the major lakes that's here. You can kind of see how big these backyards are. I mean, obviously this is kind of the back end here, but it's not uncommon to get these like quarter acre, third acre, or even half acre size lots, you know, on these. So that's what I love about it. We got the sport court out back and we got everything. The kids just, man, they got the ultimate lifestyle. So we'll cut through here and we're gonna go hit some of these really cool lakes, and I'll show you what that looks like as we enter. Man, it's just kind of fun. Actually, go left, buddy. Show you that I love some of these houses. So especially Christmas time, we do golf cart parades and everybody decorates really well. And look at how like long some of these houses are. Isn't that insane? I love that one. It isn't it so huge? I love that one. So when they decorate all these for Christmas, they look amazing. So we're heading up to one of the lake's ponds on the right, but real soon here, you're actually gonna see behind these houses is Lake Houston. So, you know, all these trails go right to it. It's one of the walks that I take a lot with the dogs, with the kids, with the wife. And again, these trails, not only cul-de-sacs, they go all through here. So Jetty right. So this, if we could have stayed on the trail, we'd have gone there, and we're cutting right through here. So there's a lot of these different ponds through here. We're gonna try our luck fishing this one. If we don't get none, we'll just keep moving along. But we've caught some definitely in here. Looking pretty nice tonight, huh, Rip Daddy? So this is kind of what all the pond, and there's houses obviously all along these two. So not lake living, but kind of feels like it. Sorry, that's a little bright. But you can see here, all the houses along here, people walking the dog. So these would be a cool view too, where you got the pool in the back, big backyards, and right here at the lake. All right, so my son came and got me, my oldest son. He wanted to go fishing, which is crazy. Me and the little guy were out fishing. He's like, Dad, where's all the fishing stuff? So now we're taking you into Royal Shores. We're going to one of his secret spots. but I figured I'd show you kind of the difference of once you get to the very back side of Kingwood. And I'm gonna show you probably my favorite house in all of Kingwood right here. So I'll turn you around, and there is some lake living and docks. We'll show you that, but this is kind of like, this is gonna be your most high-end spot of Kingwood. You can see some of these homes, and you guys let me know in the comments, but I love this house. And at night, guys, with those gas lights, I'm telling you, and the color of that, that is easily my favorite home. I love it. So you're gonna get a lot bigger homes, a state home. And so this is Royal Shores, as far back as you can go. And this has its own little HOA, which is different than, you know, the Kings Point and some of those other ones. And again, you have nothing but cul-de-sacs. This is one of the coolest trail paths for the Christmas light parade. And this is where everybody comes trick-or-treating. Thousands of kids down here. It is so fun. This house does amazing at decorating. And all this is, you know, really close. The schools, again, basically biking distance, walking distance from here, these ponds, the greenbelt trails, all of that. So we'll head to the new secret spot. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I'm just kind of showing you a day in the life of, you know, what it's like around here. Got a bunch of people out here walking the doggies. No matter what time of the year, just an extremely active, fun neighborhood to live in and to call home. Truly a special place that I wish I would have known when we first moved here, but we discovered later on. And I just don't think people, like, this is the place. I'm from North Idaho, you know, Montana. My wife's from Montana, and when people come and visit, they just are like, I had no idea that it could be so green and have so many trees. So we're turning right here on Royal Shores Lane, and we're gonna head on down. All right, so we've turned on the Royal Shores. Like, now we can actually start to see homes that are on the lake. So these, you know, have docks, you know, wake surfing, wakeboarding, fishing, you name it. You can kind of see the docks and stuff in the lake right through the back there. There we go, there's the lake. Really cool docks. A lot of them have, what's up, Rip Daddy? A lot of them have bigger docks, you know, that have the kind of the party deck up on top. But yeah, we go wake surfing out there all the time, swimming. Yep, there are definitely alligators, there are snakes, you bet. And it is not a mountain lake from Idaho, but you just get used to it over time. But man, I guess we found a secret spot. I have not been back here before, so we're cruising right now. Man, these are pretty cool. Dude, do these kids have the best life ever or what? Look at this. It's like a boat launch. I didn't even know I was here. Dude, that's sick. Don't go down there, Rip Daddy. We won't get you out. Oh man, you need help? You got it.
Cruel, cruel world, must I go on? Cruel, cruel world, I'm moving on. I've been living too fast, I've been living too wrong. Cruel, cruel world, I'm gone.
My little guy caught one. Let's go, Jetty. Let's go, Ripper. Dude, you are the GOAT, Jed. How do you always catch fish?
Was I the first one catching?
Yes, dude, you always catch, bro.
No.
Look at that catfish. That's an eater there, dude. Jetty started screaming. Dude, let's go. Hey, give me some nucks,
You
bro.
don't want to hold it?
You don't want to hold that, Rip Daddy?
Here.
I don't want it to.
Here.
Why is it barking at you, Jetty?
It doesn't stink. Here?
Catfish.
Do you want to throw it in, Rip Daddy?
No, I hate you.
Okay. Catch you another one, Jed. Good job. So we're still out here fishing, and it got crazy. You hear that noise? The bullfrogs, all of a sudden, instantly, just up and down this bayou, just started going nuts. So old Ripper Magoo's caught 2 of them tonight, 2 big old catfish. Got one, Cole? Oh, the big gar. And then there's what's called alligator gar in here as well, too. So we're gonna catch some more tonight. Fishing in the dark, baby. And that finishes up Kingwood. This is the reason I moved here, was those trails. And as you can see, kids cruising right now. When we drove in here, my wife and I, there were kids pouring out of the cul-de-sacs, kids playing everywhere, basketball hoops in the cul-de-sacs, and I said, that's it. We love the outdoor lifestyle. Some of you may not, and that is just fine. And that is what we're here for, is to help you find your perfect spot. Guys, we're the matchmakers. You tell us 2 or 3 things you like or you don't like, and we can help pinpoint the exact spot for you, and most likely a place you've never heard of, and that is how you do it. You reach out to us 24/7 with that phone number and that email. If you're still starting your search and trying to figure out which area fits you best, go to originalhoustontexas.com. That is our free website. It is totally free. We have over 800 users on it every single week, and they spend an average of 31 minutes per visit there. So you go to the Explore the Area tab and you click on any suburb, and we have done full vlog tours and videos so you can really get a feel for it. But again, nothing more important than just reaching out to us. One question can save you days and weeks of pain and agony trying to figure out where to live, and we are here to help you. So I can't wait till you reach out so we can have that conversation. And in the meantime, if you're really looking for a true in-depth video, I made one right here. It's a little bit longer. I broke it into chapters where I talk about every major suburb and section of Houston, Texas, and I break it down on the map so you actually get to follow along and see what it's all about. So that video is right here. It's in chapters, so you can just watch some of the areas that you're really looking for and really dissect that map.